What's going on, guys? Iroha is finally coming back after being gone MIA for a long time. I believe she hasn't been on a single banner since her actual initial debut, and she's getting an intertwined wills. Alongside Iroha getting an upgrade is going to be 7. Iroha's going to be the one getting the FR. They're both going to be getting C90 and some reworks. In this video, I'll be talking about Iroha and 7, talk about what they both get, my opinion on both of these characters, and we'll be going over the Shinryu fight and my verdict on the banner. But before we get into the video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, share the video around, and let me know in the comment section down below what is your full plans for this banner, and also what's your opinion on both of these characters. But anyways, let's get into it. So Iroha is a offensive support. She has healing and she has Brave Retain. She was actually the first. It's party-wide Brave Retain. She's the first and I believe the only character in the game right now that has party-wide Brave Retain. I could probably dumb and forget about someone else, but yeah, she's the first character that obviously gives us the Brave Retain gimmick, basically. Her skill 1 is a 6-hit magic Brave plus HP attack 3 times. Her skill 2, and I'm counting the fusion version because that's going to be the one you're using really, is a 4-hit AoE Brave plus HP attack 4 times. Her LD is a 3-hit AoE magic Brave plus AoE HP attack 5 times. Increases Brave by 20% of HP damage dealt after the first, third, and fourth HP attacks. It's really weird how that's worded. And then her overhead gives party HP damage up by 20% and party Brave damage up by 10%. Iroha C85, the main thing that it does now is that it gives her EX recast at the beginning of the fight. And then her EX also increases after use. It increases EX recast gauge speed by 40%. It does a party HP heal by 30% max HP, and it deals 20% splash to non-targets after each HP attack. I didn't put the regular version because the regular and the plus version are basically the same. The only difference is that the plus version is better. And then her EX buff now adds HP damage up by 20% to Iroha herself. Her AA is extended to 6 turns, and it adds attack up by 20% and Brave damage up by 40%. Iroha's FR, it cleanses all debuffs from the party and heals them by 100% of HP damage dealt up to 50% of max HP. The conditions are plus 20% Brave when Brave is at least 20% of max Brave, and 30% when own HP is at least 100% or higher. You're averaging above 50% or 55% if you're reading all the conditions, which are very generic. Iroha's pros and cons. Iroha, her EX does a lot of damage. There's a reason why the HP attacks on that thing did not get changed, because it does a lot more damage. And now, obviously, since she's getting a C90 and upgrade, it's obviously getting better, and the recast up is so much better too. Good burst heal, party Brave Retain, and then she later comes down with a BT if you're considering going for a beast later down the line if you get her now, or you want to probably save for her later. And then her FR conditions are simple. Her cons is that her normal buttons are lackluster, honestly. The Brave Retain limit does affect her Brave Retain, unfortunately, because Shinryu is starting this thing where they're trying to limit how much Brave you are able to retain, and it actually affects her. And then her FR's last condition can suck if the boss has sap or heavy HP spam, and then Spear Ultimate Weapon. Now, I know people have Spear for Kain mainly, but you're not. If you're going to run Iroha and Kain in the same team, you're mainly going to put it on Kain. You're not going to put it on Iroha. But if Iroha is the only one on the field, then yeah, that's a justifiable reason. As for Iroha team compositions, Iroha and Ash, they're both getting their C90s and reworks. Ash already has hers, so she is a good position to help Iroha. And this was actually a very famous team duo back then when Iroha first came out, and then Garnet for the auras and the BT auras and the healing and all that stuff. There's also Iroha's BT later down the line if you're going to go for that. So that's team compositions I have for you for Iroha. Now we're going to go on to 7. 7 is a deep buff DPS. She has some party auras. She has a trap. She has a tri-element on her skill 2. And she also stackable debuff. Her skill 1 gets 4 more uses. It is a 4-hit melee Brave plus HP attack 3 times. And deals 50% splash HP damage to non-targets. Her skill 2 is 3 more uses. And is an 8-hit fire, thunder, ice melee Brave HP attack 3 times. This attack repeats, so it's technically 16 hit Brave plus HP attack 6 times, because the way 7 works is that when she's attacking a target with Snakebite on them, she will repeat the attack. That goes for her skill 2, not her skill 1 or all her other attacks. It's just for her skill 2. Her LD is a 2-hit melee Brave plus HP attack 7 times. It is instant turn rate Now, Bondage Whip is extended to 8 turns, and this is the biggest thing that's changed for 7. Now, her trap will not go down on every turn. This trap will either go down... This trap activates on 7's turn, but it also activates on boss turns, but it goes down on boss turns, instead of it being every action that it goes down. And now, her LD buff gives Brave damage and HP damage up to 7 by 20%. Her C85... Her EX is a 3-hit melee Brave plus HP attack 5 times and deals 20% splash HP damage to non-targets after each HP attack. It increases her Brave by 20% HP damage dealt after each HP attack. Her A is extended to 6 turns, and when she's attacking a debuff target, she gets attack up by 30%, stolen max Brave overflow up by 20%, and Brave damage cap up by 40%. 7's pros and cons. 7 is a DPS with some utility, and now the trap does not go down on every action. That is a huge thing that 7 needed, obviously, that she needed to be fixed. Decent support high armor. I guess they were leaning 7 more towards the supportive type when it comes to that, so that's why she has support high armor. It's decent. It's decent overall for the party in terms of the Brave damage aspect. Now the HP damage cap up is not really that good, but, you know, it's a high armor plus. Her damage is honestly solid. And then the last thing is that she's finally not stepping on Legos. You know, she finally got a rework after 2 to 3 years. And then her cons is that she's one of the worst ultimate weapon types in the game. Being Whip, there's only 3 Whip users in the game. And given the fact that 7 is really 7 and Reddy are the only real DPS-ish type characters with the ultimate weapons of Whip, yeah, not a good sign. Skill 2 being Tri-Element is definitely not the go-to button at all, considering if one element gets locked out, it's pretty bad. And then, due to Snakebite's nature, she can only really focus down on one target. So, if she switches to another target, while Snakebite is on the other target, then it will dispel, it will go to that one, obviously. 17 compositions, she can fit with generic FRs, and then later down the line, she's going to be getting her own FR, so those are some things you can consider when you're running 7. Now we're going to get to the Iroha IW SHINRYU, which is against Cloud of Darkness and the Floating Eye. Cloud of Darkness has 95 million HP, while Floating Eye has 70 million HP. Their force time is for 5 turns, and their force time effect is whenever you attack Cloud of Darkness, it will do an HP counter that will do massive damage and heal 80% of HP damage taken after the turn. I believe the last bit also applies to the Floating Eye, because the Floating Eye actually has the same effects as it did when we first fought it in the Kane SHINRYU. The only difference is that when you're below 50%, it will not kill you. So that's something to keep in mind. Cloud Darkness inflicts blind and does some HP attacks. The Floating Eye can paralyze and during force time do Ultrasonics Plus. Ignore anything that nullifies HP damage, and if the target is less than 50% of HP, they will be paralyzed. I believe the no, it used to be 30%. Yeah, 30%. So at 30%, if your party members or any of your party members are below 30%, the Floating Eye will not kill you. So keep that in mind. This fight is interesting, to say the least, because its force time is very, very punishing. So where, okay, so if you're using AoE attacks, then you're basically guaranteed to proc that counter from Cloud Darkness, right? You proc that counter from Cloud Darkness, it goes through evasion, and then it doesn't go through HP damage reduction though, but however, it does do a lot of damage. So if you're consistently hitting Cloud Darkness when the force time is up, it can kill you very, very fast. It can kill you very, very fast. The Floating Eye is in a nuisance, but the good thing about this fight is that obviously they don't have anything really threshold related. I don't remember if they do. I think they do, but it's like buffs or something like that. I don't believe they turn warp. I don't think they do. But this fight is very interesting. This is an interesting fight. Here's some out of synergy MVPs. There's a lot of characters you can kind of consider. Arciela is a really good candidate here. Raijin being synergy here. Well, the synergy character is obviously going to do good here. And then Freya's good here. Setsu's good to freeze Cloud Darkness if she's going to do the counter attack. So those are some things you can consider when you're bringing characters to this fight. Now we're at the verdict and the pull plan. Now every video I state this. If you're dead set on this banner, then go ahead, pull. But this is for people who are not unsure and want to be asked, like, what should I do, or like anything like that. So first, I'm going to talk about 7. So 7 finally gets an upgrade, which is obviously good. Like, every character's going to get an upgrade. They're going to get a C90, they're going to get a rework at some point. And 7 herself actually got a decent, I would say she got a decent upgrade for this. This is a placeholder for when she'll get her FR later down the line in the future. So if you have her now already, then you're going to be looking forward to her FR in the future, or you're not pulling her FR in general. But if you are considering pulling her FR, then that's something to keep in mind. I do appreciate the fact that her trap now does not go down on every action. That was like the biggest kick in the face to her, because it was something that was nice for her. And now that she has like party wars and all this stuff, she's a lot more... She has more utility in her kit, which is very, very interesting considering the fact that 7 was more of a single target DPS, but now she has party auras and a debuff, a stackable debuff, so that's something nice about her. But I think 7, she's overall just decent. I think she's decent. I don't think she's amazing, but I think she's just decent. Iroha is pretty good though. Iroha is... So she has... because I mention this every single time, is that Iroha, you can make her into a DPS. And the reason why you can make her into a DPS is that if you're bringing a character that just increases her recast gauge, or like fully increase her EX, she can just spam EX the entire fight and not worry about her other buttons. Her FR condition is very, very simple. It cleanses the party's debuffs. It heals your party. She has burst heal. She has a good amount of offensive support capabilities. Now, outside of her EX, obviously her damage is low, but because you're going to be pressing her EX the most, then that's going to be the good benefit of her. And her lifespan is really, really good. Content creator named Doritos, if you guys do not know him, he runs Iroha everywhere. Like, he's running Iroha everywhere. He even has a saga about her, which I will put in the description of this video if you guys want to check it out, or leave it in the comment section. Now, what's my opinion on the banner? So, I believe, personally, this is the best banner in a Luna Freya cycle. And some may be wondering, why is that? So, Iroha, really good character, really good offensive support. Luna Freya's BT is here, and we all know how hyped the Luna Freya is. And then 7 is a decent consolation prize, but another really good reason to do this is to pick up Raijin's LD call. Raijin's LD call is still really good in this day and age, so if you want to pick that up, and if you're really accustomed to no boss turning and stuff like that, I would highly recommend you pick it up. And you can also go on this banner just for Raijin's LD call. Iroha's FR is also good too, so you're not missing on any. You're not gonna be like kicking yourself if you pull on this banner, but that's something I want to consider for you guys. But if you're not going to use Iroha, if you're not going to use 7, then don't really pull on this banner. If you're going to use Raijin's LD call, really, then yeah, go ahead for it. My pool plans, I'm getting Iroha. I love using her in Lufiniera. I love using her in Lufiniera. I already have 7's kit. I have everyone's kit on here aside from Luna Freya, but you already know I'm not pulling Luna Freya. I don't want Luna Freya's BT. And no, I already know people in the comment section will be like, oh, you're pulling Iroha FR just because Null's in it. And I mean, I like the pairing. The animation is kind of whatever, but like still, I do like Iroha in this game. I never played it for 11, but I do like her in this game. But anyways, guys, that's going to be it for the video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Share the video around, and let me know in the comment section below, again, what are you going to be doing for this banner, and what you're going to be using for the fight. Me, personally, for the fight, I'm probably just going to do the off-turn team, or I'll probably do an Iroha showcase. I'll probably do an Iroha showcase, and then my my original team. But anyways, guys, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Take care, and have a good day.